All right, so, New York, always
Yeah.
good for a bizarre news story.
Ugh.
Well, this one
Yeah,
is
that's
truly nuts.
yeah, I gotta admit, when I first saw the headline about Peanut the squirrel,
Oh my
I
God.
thought it was like some sort of like internet hoax.
Right,
Yeah.
a squirrel named Peanut causing this much chaos.
You said it. It sounds like
Uh-huh.
the premise of like
Yeah.
a Saturday Night Live sketch gone wrong.
Totally.
But alas, this is real life in the Big Apple.
This is New York, baby.
So for you today, we are diving deep into this saga that's captivated the internet,
Yeah.
provoked a lot of outrage, and left many of us just scratching our heads.
Yeah, it's a story that at its core is actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's about a beloved pet squirrel that was seized from his home
Oh, wow.
and ultimately euthanized by state officials.
Oh, no.
But as we'll unpack,
Yeah.
the details are where things get fascinating,
Oh, yeah.
heartbreaking,
Yeah.
frankly a little absurd. Okay, so before we jump into the raid that sparked this whole controversy,
Yeah.
let's rewind and give our listeners some backstory. Okay. Peanut wasn't just some random squirrel munching on acorns in Central Park.
Yeah.
This little guy was an internet celebrity.
You're not kidding.
Whoa.
Over 500,000 followers on Instagram. That's more than most actual human influencers.
Wow.
And it's all thanks to Mark Longo,
Yeah.
Peanut's owner, who rescued him back in 2017.
Yes, Mark Longo,
Yeah.
local guy,
Oh, yes.
loves animals,
Heart of gold.
has a heart of gold,
Yeah.
but maybe not the best judgment when it comes to navigating the complexities
Maybe not.
of New York State wildlife regulations.
Well, let's be fair. It all started with good intentions.
But
Peanut was just a 5-week-old orphan when Longo found him.
oh,
His mom had been hit by a car.
oh,
Classic New York City tragedy.
oh.
And little Peanut was all alone.
And Longo, being the animal lover that he is, nursed him back to health. I mean, who can resist a baby squirrel?
Right.
Its
Yeah.
tiny paws, the bushy tail.
But here's where the story takes a bit of an unexpected turn.
Okay.
Despite Longo's best efforts to rehabilitate Peanut and release him back into the wild,
Yeah.
the little guy just never quite got the hang of squirrel survival skills 101.
I guess all those gourmet nuts
Right.
and cozy blankets spoiled him a bit.
Yeah,
City life does that to you.
something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, the bottom line is that wildlife experts deemed Peanut unfit to be released.
Unfit.
Yeah, he just wouldn't survive on his own out there.
Oh, no.
So Longo faced a choice.
Okay.
Find a licensed wildlife rehabilitator who could take him,
Yeah.
or bend the rules a bit.
And he chose
Option B,
option B.
the path of most resistance, as they say.
Yep.
Now, I know what our listener might be thinking. Is it even illegal
That's it.
to keep a squirrel as a pet in New York?
Yeah.
And the answer is a resounding yes. But Peanut, oblivious to the legal ramifications of his newfound domestic bliss,
Okay.
thrived under Longo's care.
Good for him.
They became best buds, practically inseparable.
Oh, that's sweet.
Cue the montage of heartwarming moments.
Yeah.
Peanut wearing tiny hats. Peanut snuggling with Longo on the couch.
Oh.
Peanut stealing pizza crusts.
Oh, my God.
You know, typical squirrel stuff.
Classic.
And of course, all of these adorable antics were meticulously documented on Peanut's Instagram account.
Of course.
People ate it up.
Right.
He became a viral sensation, this little squirrel living his best life
Good for him.
in the concrete jungle.
That's great.
And that's where Peanut's Freedom Farm comes into the picture.
Right. The animal sanctuary.
Yeah.
I mean, leave it to a New Yorker to turn internet fame into a full-blown animal rescue operation.
Yeah.
Talk about a side hustle.
Well, it wasn't just a hustle. Longo genuinely loves animals,
Yeah.
and Peanut's popularity helped bring in the donations
Yeah.
that allowed him to establish the sanctuary upstate in Pine City.
So it's all very heartwarming, right?
It is.
A rescued squirrel becomes an Instagram star, helps save hundreds of other animals.
Uh-huh.
Like a feel-good story.
Yeah.
The kind that makes you believe in the power of social media for good.
But as they say, the internet giveth and the internet taketh away.
Ooh, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
See, I knew this was going to take a dark turn.
Well, let's just say that in October of this year, the happy-go-lucky world of Peanut the squirrel came crashing down.
Oh.
Picture this. It's a Tuesday morning, and Longo is probably making Peanut a little smoothie or something.
With organic kale and locally sourced berries, no doubt.
when suddenly a whole convoy of vehicles rolls up to his home.
What?
We're talking officers from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation,
No way.
the Chemung County Health Department, the whole shebang.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Like a full-on raid for a squirrel?
Yeah.
I mean, did Peanut have like an outstanding parking ticket or something?
It does seem a bit excessive, right?
Yeah.
But according to the DEC,
Okay.
they were acting on multiple reports from the public
Okay.
about potential safety hazards at Longo's home.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
What kind of safety hazard can one squirrel, even an Instagram famous one, possibly pose?
Right.
Was he running an underground acorn gambling ring?
Their official statement is a bit vague,
Okay.
but they cite concerns about the unsafe housing of wildlife that could carry rabies and the illegal keeping of wildlife as pets.
Okay, so there's the illegal pet thing, which we already know about.
Right.
But rabies? I mean, I'm no squirrel expert, but isn't it pretty rare for them to have rabies?
It's not common, but it is possible.
Okay.
And to be fair to the DEC, rabies is a serious public health concern.
Yeah, okay, fair point.
Yeah.
But still a 5-hour raid.
5 hours.
Longo claims they treated him like a terrorist,
Ooh.
denied him bathroom breaks,
Seriously?
and prevented him from caring for his other animals.
Oh.
It all sounds a bit intense, to say the least.
Well, from Longo's perspective, this was a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
He's got on record saying that he felt completely blindsided.
Yeah.
And that the officers were unnecessarily aggressive.
But here's the real kicker.
What's that?
During the raid, the DEC claims that Peanut bit one of their investigators.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And that bite sealed Peanut's fate.
Oh, no, don't tell me.
Because of that alleged bite, both Peanut and Fred, a raccoon who was also living with Longo,
Oh, no.
were euthanized to be tested for rabies.
Euthanized Peanut is gone.
Gone.
Wow. I mean, I know this is serious, but I almost can't believe we're talking about a squirrel here.
It's crazy.
It feels like something out of a dark comedy.
Yeah, I know.
Like a really bad joke.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Well, it's a tragedy no matter how you slice it.
Right.
And Longo is adamant that Peanut never bit anyone.
Really?
He says that the officers were wearing protective gear the whole time and that neither animal showed any signs of being sick.
So it's a classic he said, she said situation.
Yeah.
But even if we take the DEC at their word, was euthanasia really the only option?
Right.
Couldn't they have quarantined Peanut and Fred for observation, like they do with humans who might have been exposed to rabies?
That's a question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
And it sparked a huge debate about the current protocols for handling potential rabies cases.
Okay.
Particularly when it involves animals who are clearly beloved pets.
Right. It's not like Peanut was some feral squirrel
No.
they trapped in the subway.
No.
He was living the high life, sipping smoothies and posing for Instagram.
Right.
He was practically a New Yorker. I mean, I get that rabies is a serious thing. You don't want to mess around with that.
Right.
But to go from possible exposure to immediate euthanasia just feels extreme.
Well, and that's where the public outcry comes in.
Yeah.
People are devastated not just by Peanut's death, but by the way the whole situation was handled.
The internet was not happy.
Yeah.
I saw some
I bet.
pretty heated comments. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people
Yeah.
felt that the DEC used a sledgehammer to crack a nut, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't help that Peanut was, an internet celebrity.
Yeah.
His death felt very personal to a lot of people.
Absolutely, like losing a distant,
Right.
but very adorable relative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for Longo, it was like a double whammy.
Yeah.
He lost his beloved pet, and the sanctuary lost its biggest star attraction.
And let's not forget the financial impact.
Right.
Peanut's Instagram was a huge driver of donations for Peanut's Freedom Farm.
Yeah.
It's like losing a key member of your fundraising team.
Talk about a PR nightmare.
Yeah.
So what happens now is Longo just supposed to pick up the pieces and move on.
He's definitely not going down without a fight.
Good for him.
He's launched petitions.
Yeah.
He's exploring legal action. He's doing interviews.
Yeah.
He wants answers, and he wants to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Someone needs to hold the DEC accountable.
Right.
It just feels like the punishment didn't fit the crime here.
Well, and this whole situation raises some bigger questions, too. Where do we draw the line between public safety and individual rights when it comes to wildlife?
Right. It's like, on the one hand, we have these laws in place for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't want people just keeping raccoons and squirrels in their apartments, right?
Right.
But on the other hand, there has to be some room for nuance.
Exactly. What about animals who can't survive in the wild?
Yeah.
What about situations where the animal is clearly thriving in a domestic setting?
Right.
Do our current regulations allow for that kind of flexibility?
It's a tough one.
It is.
And I don't envy the people who have to make those decisions.
No.
But what's fascinating here is the role that social media played in all of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Peanuts' online fame is a huge reason why this story has blown up.
Right.
It's brought the issue of wildlife captivity to the forefront in
Yeah.
a way that traditional media never could.
Right. It's like everyone loves a cute animal video
Yeah.
until suddenly that cute animal is at the center of a controversy
Right.
that forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths
Right.
about our relationship with nature.
And it's also a reminder that sometimes even the smallest creatures can become symbols of bigger issues.
So, dear listener, what does this all mean for you?
Yeah.
Well, I think the story of Peanut the Squirrel is a reminder that even in a city as crazy as New York, something as simple as a squirrel can spark a conversation about ethics,
Absolutely.
regulations, and the complexities of coexisting with wildlife in an increasingly urbanized world.
And perhaps it's a call to action, to educate ourselves about the laws surrounding wildlife, to advocate for more humane and nuanced approaches to animal welfare,
Right.
and to think critically about our own roles in protecting the delicate balance of nature.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time for us to sign off. This has been a roller coaster of emotions, from laughter to outrage to genuine sadness. But hey, that's the deep dive for you.
That's right.
Always keeping you informed, entertained, and slightly bewildered.
Always.
We'll see you next time, and until then, stay nutty. New York.